Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. This video is for everyone who has had either a knee or a hip replacement and who still wants to do yoga because you should definitely be doing yoga regardless of whatever operations you've had or whether you replaced your knee or your hip. This is also a video for senior citizens who want to do yoga because we're going to be using a lot of props in the videos, and these are movements which are easy and simple for your everyday yoga routine. So let's begin. We will begin with standing postures. So the first standing posture is Uttanasana, where you just stand with your feet about hip width distance apart, a little less, and then you can bend forward and try and reach the floor. Yes. Okay. And you make sure that you are not leaning too far forward. Okay, come up, and let's move to the side. You can face that way. Yeah, and come a little bit to the center. Okay. Now take your feet hip width distance apart, and then bend forward. Yeah. And you have to make sure that you are leaning slightly forward. Hands should not be close together. Hands should be wide. Yes, like this. And keep your head lifted so that the head is not hanging down. Yeah, and you can stay here for as long as you want, even for 2 minutes. 30 seconds is also good. 40 seconds is also good, but it's important to actually maintain this position for some time. Don't lean on your hands. You have to use your legs also. So you can keep your knees bent, but you have to use the muscles. You have to use the hamstrings. You have to use the glutes. Keep the head lifted. Good. And then come up. Stand up. Okay. And in case you feel back pain, you should make sure that you're actually bending your knees. Okay. So now the next one is Trikonasana. So now face forward. Okay. Now for Trikonasana, you're going to take your legs wide. Yeah, wider. And now is when we're actually going to start using the chair. Now turn the right foot out. Now take your hands up. Keep looking straight ahead. Yeah, take your hands up, then take your hands out to the sides. Yes, and then lean to the right and place your hand on this chair. And the other hand can go up, the other hand can be on the waist also. But we're trying to stretch the side of the body. Keep this palm facing forward. Yes. Try to open the chest. Don't bend your spine. And stay here. The chair should be stable. Make sure it's not something that slips. It can be a higher level also, it can be a lower level also, whatever is most convenient for you. Whatever you're able to do. Good. Thumb up. Okay, so I'm going to put the chair aside and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Move a little bit to that side. And let's just take this other chair. Okay. And then the same thing. So take the legs the same distance as you did before. Now turn the right foot out. Yeah, hands up. First up, yes. Then out to the side. And then hand here. Yeah. Don't hold your breath. Remember, don't hold the breath. Also, you should try to get both sides equal. But even if that doesn't happen, that's okay. As long as you're opening, you're stretching the sides of the body, stretching the legs, the back of the legs, it's okay to have a little bit of a difference between the two sides. This also, you hold for the same amount of time on the other side. So keep breathing, keep your neck long, push the shoulders back, keep the neck long. Stay here. This is a follow along video, so you can actually just be doing these postures along with us. Chairs are something that anyone can have. You can use your couch to do this. You can use your bed to do this. Some cupboard in your house. You can use anything to do this posture. Okay, let's come up. Good. And hands down. Good. Now we're going to sit down. Sit on the chair, and now make sure that you have a wall behind you. And you're going to come a little forward, not all the way back. Yeah. So the first thing we're going to do is Bhatt Asana. So I'm just going to be facing forward. So you're going to keep your hands, interlock the hands together and extend your arms up. Yes, we try to keep the elbows straight. Yes, and including the thumbs. Most people have a tendency to leave one thumb just hanging there. So you keep tightening the elbows and lifting the arms. try to reduce the hunch that happens in the upper back. So you have to draw the shoulders in. Yes, like that. It will lift the sternum, it will lift the rib cage up, and that will help you breathe better. Okay. Release. Good. Then you're going to sit with the legs a little wider. Yes. And then bend forward and place your hands on the floor. This is a forward bend. Keep your arms relaxed. So don't do these postures with a lot of tension in the body. So you have to keep your shoulders open. We try to keep the spine straight. And also when you have a knee replacement done, you cannot bend the legs so much. So when you do a forward bend like this, then your knees are still, in a permissible position, yet you get that all the benefits of a forward bend. So stay here. Another variation is that you can walk your hands forward. Yeah, as far as possible, you can even just have the fingertips on the floor. That's also fine, yes. And you keep sitting down and then lengthening the back. So if you have to feel that it's lengthening out using your hands. Stay here. Keep breathing. Never hold your breath when you do this. You have to keep breathing. Keep pulling the nose, the knees into the body. Yeah, so don't try not to get the knees too wide. The knees should remain closer. That's good for your hip. Having the knees too wide is not good for the hip. Good. And then slowly walk back. Yes. And then come up. Yes. Now, once again, interlock your fingers together. And this time, so we've done a forward bend. Now we're going to do a back bend. So take the hands up first. And then you can lean back on the chair now and touch the wall. Yeah, you can lean back as far as is comfortable for you, and then you touch the wall and stay. Try to keep the thumbs together. So even here, when you're bending back, you try to keep the thumbs together. Yes. Stay. Keep breathing. Relax the neck. Yeah, so you can look straight ahead, you can look up, but you have to have the neck relaxed, and there should be no tension on the face, especially not on the forehead and the eyes. You have to relax the eyes. If you don't relax the eyes, then it will aggravate glaucoma and other kind of problems with the eyes. If you keep tightening the forehead, it will aggravate any migraine issues that you have or any headache kind of issues that you have. So you have to keep the face relaxed. You have to keep the jaws relaxed as well. Release. Now that we've done a lot of stretching for the arms and the armpits, now we can go into Gomukhasana, which is a considerably more challenging stretch. So for this, you can use a belt, any belt, or you can also use a towel if you have. So for Gomukhasana, you're going to take the right hand up first, left hand back, and you're going to try to hold both hands behind your back. Yes, so many people have an issue with that. Here she's able to hold both hands behind. But if you're unable to do that, you can also use a towel or a belt, something strong, and hold that. And then eventually, with practice, you'll be able to come closer and closer. So that's when a belt actually comes in handy. And again, this is a very difficult posture and very uncomfortable. You have to hold for at least 30 seconds. Again, keep the neck relaxed. Yeah, so the head has to be lifted. Don't bring the head down. Always lift the head in Gomukhasana. The Gomukhasana is great for frozen shoulders. It's great for elbows, for your arms, for any neck pain, shoulder pain. It's a great posture to do every day. Now, come down, and then let's do the same thing on the other side. Yes, so step by step, first the upper arm goes back, then the lower arm. Yes, and you can use both hands to help each other, and then you can also hold. Yes. Use a belt to hold. Yeah. So sit up straight when you do the Gomukhasana. There is always a chance of bending forward, and that reduces the efficacy of the posture. So you have to stay straight. Also, you will notice in Gomukhasana, automatically the chest opens up and the rib cage opens up. So that's how it helps in breathing also. Opens up the chest. tight or inflexible as you age, and therefore these postures really help in not only opening up the joints but also opening up the lungs and the chest, which prevents any kind of breathing related illnesses and conditions. All right, okay, release. Okay, and then take some time to just relax the arms, because sometimes the arms can get numb. Yeah, okay. Now let's stand up and now let's face the wall. We're gonna sit on the chair about 1 foot away from the wall and in the center of the chair. Yes, and sit up straight. Okay, so now you're gonna use the wall. Okay, take your feet about hip width distance apart. So take the feet, no, hip width distance apart. So yeah, like that, yeah. Okay. Now you're going to bend forward, place your fingertips on the wall and start to walk the fingertips up. Yeah, so this is another way of doing a forward bend, but here you're extending the back up even more. So here you should feel that not only are the shoulders extending, but also all the back muscles. Try to use all the back muscles. Many of you may have the tendency of opening the knees when you bend forward, but avoid that. Keep your knees stacked right on top of the ankles. That's very important. Keep breathing. Do not ever hold your breath. Keep breathing. Deep inhalations and deep exhalations. Okay, and come back. Okay. Now continuing with this posture, now let's take one leg on top of the other. So it's like crossing your legs, or you can also call it like somewhat like Gomukhasana. And then again, the same thing. So you take your hands up and you walk forward. Yes, and we try to keep the knees stacked on top of each other. Yeah, so the legs have to be active. Do not leave the legs just relaxing. Keep breathing. You can do this either by the number of seconds you're holding the posture, the number of minutes you're holding the posture, or you can just count the number of breaths. So 10 deep breaths is also a good way to do all these exercises. Okay, now release and let's repeat this on the other leg. This time the left leg comes on top. And then extend the arms up. Try to go further forward. Yes. So in this posture, there is a stretch on the quads, on the glutes, and also on the lower back. Different people will have different stretches depending on what part of your body is more open or tight. But these are the things to watch out for. Good. And then come back. And then let's stand up and turn around. So now we're going to need 2 chairs. So both chairs facing each other. So here's one chair, and here's the other chair. And I'm going to place a blanket on top of this chair because it's a hard chair. Now, both legs up. Yeah. Yeah, you can bring the chair as close as you need to feel comfortable. We're going to do the Paschimottanasana. So you're going to lean forward and try and touch your toes. Yes. Good. Good. Now, if you've had knee replacement or you have knee pain, you can even bend the knees, that's totally fine. Keep looking up. Don't look down. Don't drop the head down. We always need to keep looking up. And over time, you'll be able to have a very straight back. So this is good. You should be feeling a stretch on the back of the legs, on the hamstrings, on the calves. A lot of people maybe even on the back, depending on how active you are. Again, 10 breaths. Do not hold the breath. Keep the neck long, shoulders pushed back. keep the right leg up, left leg can go on. So now we're going to do a variation of Janu Shirshasana. So with both hands, hold the foot. So for a lot of you, this will be much better than holding both legs. So you can take advantage of this to stretch the hamstrings a little bit more. Yeah. Don't jerk the knee, don't lock the knee, but try to lengthen the middle back also. Good. Let's release and do the same thing on the other side. Take the same amount of time as before. Okay. And then come out of this posture and remove the leg. So we've done forward bending, we've done back bending, and the only thing that's remaining is twisting. Okay. So now come a little bit forward over here, about the center of the chair, and take the legs a little, just a little about hip distance. Then you're going to place your left hand on the right knee, take the right hand back. So try to hold the edge of the chair. Yes. So here we're trying to move the shoulders back and trying to keep the shoulders at one level, also making sure that the knees are at one level, because what happens is we tend to move forward, move the other leg forward. So usually what happens is when we twist, we take one leg forward and try to go forward. We have to avoid that. We have to keep both knees at the same level. Yeah, and again, hold for about 10 breaths. Yeah, and keep your neck relaxed, face relaxed. Release, and let's do the same thing on the other side. Yes. So here you can see exactly how to hold it. Now hold it the other way. Open. Yeah, like this. Yeah. So when you hold it, your palm should be facing back. So the palm should be facing the direction of your chest. Stay here. And make sure your knees are also aligned. So take this knee back. Yes. When you align the knees, then the twist reduces, but that is the way to do it. So for the same amount of time, you hold it for about 10 breaths or 1 or 2 minutes. Or 30 seconds, whatever you decide. Okay, release. And then you can just sort of relax your shoulders. So that was the session. In this session, we worked on stretching the lower body, stretching the upper body, stretching your back. We did a back bend as well. Then we did forward bends using 2 chairs. And then you did twists also. So we worked on your spine as well, the lower body, upper body, everything. This is a holistic session or yoga routine for you if you're a senior citizen or if you've had hip or knee movements. So if you have any questions, you can write to me or drop a comment.